Hey there. Hey guys, I just wanted to do a quick video talking about my dating experiences. So my life right now is working on me and dating while I do that. So I went on a date today with a pretty cool guy, someone I've been talking to for a little while. I met online. And our first phone conversation, really, we've only talked on the phone once, but we text every day. He told me about his travels, which I found really interesting. He's been everywhere: Spain, New Zealand. He went to the Polynesian Islands. I forgot which ones. He's been through the Bahamas, parts of Europe, I believe. Well, Spain, of course, is Europe. He's been through, what's it, British Wales, Ireland, Scotland, England, all of that. So I thought he was pretty interesting, and our conversation was good. It was a good 40 minutes. He is a talker, so it was nice. I didn't have to build a conversation and develop topics for him. He was able to talk. I did a lot of listening, which I was a little bit kind of like shocked by. He didn't want to learn more about me, but it's kind of good. It's good not to be on a phone interview with someone that you have some interest in romantically, because for me, that's just pressure, and you're not really getting to know me if you're putting me on the interview. I don't want to be interviewed. Get to know me as we go along, as I get to know you. I want to know basic things. Do you have kids? Are you recently divorced? Are you recently out of a relationship? What are you looking for? What your relationship goals are? What do you do for a living? What your likes and dislikes are in general? What are your hobbies? Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years, etc. So it's really nice. Anyways, we met up for our date today. I didn't feel really good. I was feeling sick. But I took some medicine and I was able to go. I pushed our date back 2 hours. We were supposed to meet earlier. And before that, I got up and went to yoga with my sister. When I felt okay, and we had coffee after that, we sat down, had breakfast, and talked. And then I realized, I better get going and go home. I don't know what it was. As soon as I got home, and I was just like, standing in the hallway, just standing there, and all of a sudden I felt really, really sick. I'm like, I gotta lay down. So I laid down for a minute, took some medicine, had some tea, and I felt better. So I told him, okay, let's meet at this time, and got up and went. When I got there, he came in, he's like, oh wow, what was going on? I'm like, I'm sorry, I was sick. We're in the middle of Starbucks. How much detail can I go into? It was unfortunately some feminine issues going on. What can I say? I kind of told you in the text. So is it the time to put me on the spot? I don't think so. So I said, I'm so sorry. I was feeling sick. I feel much better now. Thank you so much for understanding. I'm glad we're able to meet. Awesome. What more do you want out of me? I kind of told you. I explained it. You said it was okay. You sent me a text saying it's okay. So people out there, male, female, don't tell someone's okay if it's not okay. As women, we do say we're fine, we're not fine. But if someone says they need to meet you 2 hours later or at 4 instead of 2, don't say it's okay if it's not okay. So we got our coffees, we sat down, we talked, and I just threw a few things out. I'm like, oh, okay, you told me you went to Spain. So that's where you want to retire. Oh my God, it looks so great. He's like, oh, I got some pictures. Pull out pictures. We're going through the pictures, talking about the places he traveled to, talking about his career and what he does. And I saw the conversation was going very well. And then got to a point where he's like, okay, we're winding down. And I'm like, you know what? I have a few things to do at home in a little while. Probably will be heading home. I need to get ready for the next day. I need to do laundry. I want to studying to get a new job in insurance. And we talked about that. So that was great. And it got cold. The sun went behind the building, so I got cold. And I was just like this. I didn't bring, it's now October, end of October in Georgia, and it's getting kind of cold. And when I left, it was 73 degrees. While I was out there, it was 71, but the sun had gone behind the building, so it was cold. So I said, it's getting kind of cold. I'm gonna start heading out. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, sun went behind the building. That's why it's cold. If you were over there in the parking lot by that car where the sun is, you'd be more comfortable. Yeah, I'm not going over there in the parking lot by that car, even though it'll be warmer. I'm not doing that. I'm not standing out by next to someone else's car to be warm. It's kind of time for me to head out because we had some time to talk and we met each other. We put faces to names and things like that. Now it's time for me to get on with the rest of my day and you get on with yours. I'm trying not to overstay dates, especially it's not a huge magnetic pool or something like that. And we're not at a restaurant, so there's no real reason for me to stay too much longer. So we kind of walked me to my car. I brought up a restaurant. He was saying there's lots of restaurants in the area, which there were where we were. It's a pretty busy area, not too far from the mall or like off of the highway in the mall area. And I was telling him about a restaurant that wasn't far. This really good seafood restaurant. Papa Do's is so good. And he's like, oh yeah, I've been there. And I'm like, oh, if you like that, have you been to Ponce de Leon City Market? Because I like that place. There's a great selection of restaurants, all kinds of food, and at the very top, on the rooftop, there's a fair. I've never been to the fair, which I'm going soon to see what that's about. So then we started talking about the market and the condominiums behind it, and how they were bought and what they were before, and how Atlanta's developed. And that was a nice little conversation to lead to the car. So just to wrap that up, it was a good date. I want to try to have conversations that are a little bit out of the box and allow that person to talk, because it gives me a chance to get to know the person the same way they're getting to know me. But what I've learned, men like to talk, so I let them talk. Yeah, but I want a person to get to know me gradually, because I'm different. I'm really weird. I like a lot of various different things, but I also want to get to know a person that can introduce me to new things, and I can introduce them to a few new things I know. I'm trying to get out my box. I've been in long-term relationships for so long, and a lot of what I did was dependent on what my mate wanted to do, which is silly, and I apologize to myself for being like that. So I'm ready to just embrace life, to travel out of the country, to renew my passport, to do things like jet ski, skydive, zip line, all those things, and have a good time. So what lessons did I learn from this date? You can learn a lot from a person while they're talking and telling you about anything, about whether they're a person that gives and takes. They can give you a moment to talk. Do they really want to know about you, or they're just interested in what you have on the physical, or they're bored. Some people will talk to you because they're bored. You get to get the information from the person by just their conversation. Are they giving you a chance to talk? Are they find out about you? Are they talking more about themselves? Do they have a level of curiosity about you? You get to know with a person. As far as men and women go, I kind of embrace gender roles, and I'm sure there's men out there who believe that women do that because it's convenient to them. Maybe that's true, but I do embrace that. And for him to, when he got there, to, without a mention of how much it was, only ordered a short coffee at Starbucks. He paid for my coffee, had my wallet out, had my money ready to go. He paid for it. I let him. Cool, fine. You don't have to, but I appreciate it. And I think the coffee idea, even though there are people who don't agree with coffee dates, that's understandable. I liked it because it gave me a chance to get to know this person without the pressure of them feeling as if I owe them because they took me on the date and paid for my meal. So I appreciate that. It's a good way to get to know a person, a quick in and out. You don't have to stay long. So I appreciate that. But if my purpose was, and if I was all leveled up and dolled up and just like a 10, then maybe I would do the more expensive high-end dinners and things like that, and see if I was looking for someone who's going to be financially stable to, in the end, spoil me as a girlfriend or as a wife in the future. I would like that, but the person I am, I don't want anyone to have sour feelings. I don't want anyone to regret doing something for me. I don't want anyone to feel as if taking advantage of them. I don't want to take advantage of anyone. I just want things to be as smooth as possible. I want there to be good vibes. I work. I plan to work probably until I retire or start my own business. So I don't need anything from anyone. But if you want to do something for me out of the kindness of your heart, that's good. But anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. But this was just another one of my dates. Nice guy. I liked him. Interesting. Great conversation. I learned a few things. He makes me think, and when I learn or hear about things I'm not too sure about, I ask questions that I try to ask questions to where it doesn't seem like I'm totally ignorant, but I just make a mental note. Okay, I need to look it up. He spoke about Seville, Spain. I need to see what that's like. He spoke about the Polynesian Islands. I need to look that up and see what that's like. We spoke about the Moorish castles. He spoke about, what was it? Lisbon. I'm like, okay, let me look that up. REOs, you're talking about his job and REO. I'm like, all right, let me research that too. It's nice to learn about something different. I love to learn because there's so much information out there. But anyways, I learned that it's okay to step out your box, and I was still nervous to meet him, but it went well. It was someone a little bit different than me, so I was kind of nervous. Like, people were looking at us like, oh, okay, those two doing? Are they a couple? What's going on? But that's okay. It takes some mental strength and toughness to be doing something different when people are used to. So I'm just embracing it. 2018. What do you got for me? All right. Okay, we talked about the fact, okay, you learn a lot of things when people talk. You learn a lot from their conversation. Secondly, if you are into gender roles, you see if they embrace them. Another thing, you learn someone's sense of humor if you make little jokes and they laugh, and I like to do that. I like to say silly little things. And if he chuckles, cool, he did. You learned, I like to see if a guy has like, if he's chivalrous, if he has like that little tendency to kind of care about a female, the weaker sex. Just care about women. I'm not a feminist. Maybe at one time I was a little bit more, but I don't know. I don't think I am. I probably am not. I'm more feminine than the feminist. In some ways, I want to be treated fairly, but I don't think I'm as strong as a man, so that's not my issue. So for him to walk me to my car, I appreciate it. Pay for my coffee, I appreciate it. Things like that. Pull out a chair for me, I would like it. So I learn how he kind of feels in that aspect, and I think he is a gentleman and he's chivalrous. I do like that. And he hugged me goodbye, and if he texts me like a little summary or like, it was nice to meet you, that kind of thing, then kind of gives me an idea of where I stand. So these are dating chronicles. We are learning, guys. All right. I hope this can benefit a man or a woman and just dating, or it's comedic or just something to listen to.